He makes us to laugh, He makes us to earn, He makes us to lose. He makes us to get ourselves unseated. And then in the second chapter he says, samatvam yogam uchate. And in all that you keep up this equanimity. How will you keep up the equanimity? Only when we know that it is all ordained by Him. We have seen, people may feel that it is impractical. No. We have seen many people who were having, who were in a good position. Suddenly either they voluntarily forego or they had to deal, and then next moment they accept the situation cheerfully, without murmuring, without complaining, without mumbling. Immediately, adjusting. They may not say that God ordained, but in their life they have shown, and God makes us to observe. So this is whatever Lord Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, it is not a theory, But as Papa said, unless we connect it ourselves to our own life experience, we will not be able to accept it. Nor we will be able to understand. It is not a tall talk. Something, every time you have to go through. Papa made it very clear, you will be able to understand Ramdas's words only through mere superficial churning of thought. Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. Experience is gained by diving into the depth of your mind. Mere assertion of the truth is not realization. In 11th chapter, second chapter, second book. He says to Arjuna, Nimitta matram bhavasavyasaji, you be my instrument only. I have already done what is to be done. In this play, world Leela, what is to be done, I have already done. But I give you an opportunity to assume the sense of doership and do it. And Swami Ranganathanji has beautifully brought it out. These are all the things by which we have to keep on doing it and then stitch it with our own experience. Otherwise it is a tall talk or an academic exercise. We will not be able to understand. And we will always, our mind or intellect will say it is all impractical. It is not so. We will realize it only when we go through the experience. We will be forced to take some decision. We don't know why. Later on we might find, why did I take the decision? All my calculations, by fixing the target to be scaled, all of us can go through our own experience. How many times we have changed, If our planning is the final one, every time when we fix a target and then put in all our efforts to attain it, and when we have gained it, we lose the charm, Again we shift our this thing. Why? Who is behind? If our intellect is so powerful, the intellect should be content with that, So the contentment will come only when we bring in the other dimension. Not so long as I assert that I am the doer. We need not tom-tom. In our heart we should be there, that's all. Because in the Vyavaharic language we cannot say that. God has given us a role to play and we will play it beautifully as much as possible. As if we are, just like in a drama or a cinema, no? The hero or the villain, they do it with the feeling. They give us a feeling that they have identified totally themselves with that act. In this 33 sloka, 11th chapter, Tasman Mudishta Yashurevaswa Jitvat Shatrun Munshwa Rajyam Samruddham Mayevate Nihada Purvameva Nimittamatram Vivasajasajin. Therefore, do you arise and acquire fame, conquer the enemies, and enjoy unrivaled dominion? Verily, by myself have they been already slain. You be you merely an instrument. Remember, Sri Krishna is telling this just before the battle begins. In the midst of the battlefield, Arjuna wanted to withdraw from the battle. He became weak, great to the Gita. When you do great things, you get glory. You might have to fight against death itself. What does it matter? We know there is death. We are going to fight it. We shall fight it. We shall fight and get destroyed. But by so doing, we shall acquire the great glory of manliness. This is the philosophy that will create heroes in the society. Not any goody-goody philosophy leading to comfort, pleasure and laziness. This is called the greatness of tragedy. Life is a tragedy. A tragic hero will face extreme pressures and difficulties, but he or she will face them and will face death courageously, doing something great. This is called heroic philosophy. The world is a world of death. It's a battlefield. Every day there is dying here, there. If we have to die at all, why not die doing some great work? That is the challenge. Why die in a bed? A Kshatriya is not expected to die in a bed. That was the rule in ancient India. Die in the battlefield, die in the field of work, in the struggle of serving weaker sections. We had been given this heroic philosophy which we except a few forgot during the last few centuries. We sought for cozy, comfortable life that made us low and almost dead. One death is there, and before the death comes another death. That is what great Shakespeare referred to. Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once. That valiant attitude is the central message of the Gita. Be a hero in every department of life. You need not be a soldier in the army to be a hero. An average citizen can be a hero. Great works one can do. Take a boy who rescues another boy from drowning, and the government of India gives a prize to him. Many years ago, I think 2-3 decades ago, yes, 2 decades ago, a boy of 12, he was just waiting to cross the other side. The railway gate was shut because the train was coming from the other side. Suddenly the boy saw one old man with something on his head was walking in between the rails. Back, the train is coming. This boy just entered from the gate, to the road. Just entered, rushed up to the old man and then pulled him out of the rails and the train went. The person who was taking care of the gate, he saw this. He immediately asked the boy his name, where he is, in which school he is studying. He reported all this matter to the station master. Station master immediately reported this to the collector, and he was given award with the national award later on. When we came to know, we know him. He is one of the devotees' nephew. So the devotee came here and informed him, He was working as a secretary to Puja Swamiji for some time. So whenever we used to come from Wayanad, we used to see him. So he came one day and said, because of the blessings of Anandashram, only the boy could do it. What did he do? He explained the whole thing to us. Then we said, we also want to see him. So in Wayanad, we said at that time, we arranged for a program. Gopinath and I came from Trivandrum in the Manava Seva campus in 2006 or 2005. This was arranged. And we were, everybody was extolling him, but we asked the boy why you were prompted to. In all his innocence, he got up and said, Mama, he was coming, their uncle was coming. Probably you would not be hearing the sound of the train. So immediately, if you don't do that, he will be under the train. That's what he said. So he was not even aware of the heroic.
Spontaneous act.
So now we are now telling you because these are the things God makes us to observe or to hear or directly from the question. Why, what for? I need not take it to just pass it on to somebody. I should take it as a learning for my life. This is how we stitch the experience he makes us to go through and the experiences he makes us to observe, so that it becomes clear to us. Otherwise, reading this will become an academic exercise. What has it got to do with our daily life, everyday life? Every time we have to stitch. So the heroic, we have been given this heroic philosophy. The valiant attitude is the central message of the Gita. An average citizen can be a hero. Take a boy who rescues another boy from drowning, and the government of India gives a prize to him. It is really beautiful. He has done a really heroic act. So there are hundreds and thousands of occasions when our life can show the heroic impulses. We had rejected this philosophy long ago and become petty-minded. We wanted only a cozy, comfortable life. That has ruined us. So death comes to us in 1,000 ways, but if you are a hero, it will come only once. You are fighting against death itself, that makes a tragic hero. Even in the Mahabharata, there are many tragic heroes. They knew things were going bad, but they would face them. We will die, we don't care, we will stick to our own ideas. That was the thinking. Karna, a great hero, knew toward the end that he was the brother of Pandavas. But being brought up by Duryodhana, his determination was, I belong to this side. I will fight only for him and for nobody else. I don't mind dying. There are so many occasions when one will be called upon to show the real strength that is within. A very ordinary life, eating, drinking, begetting and passing away one day, is an animal life. It does not bear that heroic touch. Swami Vivekananda always emphasized that India should develop that heroic touch. So, when we know all these things, that means even though everything prescripted, he gives us a feeling of freedom and makes us to choose. Though he has decided everything, we are not keeping quiet. We should not misunderstand that. When he says, Bhavasavya Sahajin, you are be my nimittam. But it doesn't mean that we have to heed every prompting that he gives us to jump into it and to jump out of it, to get into a cobweb of bondage and to get out of it. Everything is there. But if we know that he is behind it, and he has given us a wonderful opportunity for us to serve him, then we feel relatively contented, and later on the real contentment will also come.
Very clear, sir.
So not that a Grihastha is bar or a sannyasi is given only, nothing like that. In everybody he is there. in full measure. Yeah. In full measure. It is not more in somebody, less in somebody. Only the revealment varies. In the case of a Mahatma, the revealment may be for a higher, with a higher degree, whereas ordinary people who are engrossed in the worldly affairs may not bring this dimension, so the revelation will not be there, that's all. And we are trying to, for the revelation, not that we are trying to get anything new. So the second chapter, these words of Papa, let us keep on going through it again and again and again and go through our own life experience. And then we will come to know that everything is His only, but He makes us to act. Just like He made Papa to walk all the way to Pondicherry, and then the drama did not end. The police comes and says, you should immediately return. After walking 32 kilometers in the hot sun without food, without chapel, God prompts the police to ask him to go out immediately. So then he clearly, he mentioned, he tells in so many words. And that is because he knew it is all prescripted, God ordained. Prescripted means God ordained. He was free from any complaints. So our sadhana, our Ramnam chanting, our bhajans, our swadhyay, our satsang, everything should ultimately lead us to this. That to hand over the sense of ownership to Him. Very tough job, but we keep on trying. Outwardly we need not say anything, but inwardly we will try and try to feel that He is behind even these very words, He is behind it. He makes us to go to this particular chapter. He makes Padmama to raise something. All these things, right from the now and here, it should be there in our subconscious. And the inquest of God concretizes. Through every chapter He brings it. His will prevails, He always says. His will prevails, His will prevails. His will only prevails. Because we have not been given this idea from our young age, He made us to feel that we are the planet, we are the doers, we are the sufferers, we are the enjoyers. It is difficult for us to accept it straight away. We are all struggling only because of that. Because right before we formed a concept to this, we were not given this idea. It was given to us, but we did not understand. We remember our childhood days. Immediately after our bath, there is a puja room there, we will go there and pray, prostrate. Baba's vibhuti will be there, that we will put. Then only we go for breakfast and to go to school. Every day it is religiously done. That means the subservience to a higher power is there, but we did not know. Later on we developed as an individual, we did not connect up. But only after getting in touch with a spiritual preceptor, we tried to understand. That is why we were asked to do this. It is possible, but it is difficult. So we have to pray, That is why Papa says we have to pray. The second chapter he says, what does he say? The word? Thy slave's one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. Same thing we have to repeat every day, morning and evening, Our prayer is to you is to take us under your complete guidance and remove the I-ness in us. In the second chapter, he brings it out. Men are deluded when they declare, I do this, I do that, this is mine, that is mine. All, O Ram, is thine and all things are done by thee alone. Thy slaves, one prayer to thee is to take him under thy complete guidance and remove his I-ness. This is a powerful message he gives, So we will keep on trying, praying to him. By ourselves we cannot do it. If it was possible, we would have done it earlier. So nimitta matram bhavasavya sajin. You be merely the instrument for the actual achievement. Anything else? In the 9th chapter also, elaborately he explains whether we have understood or not. We have to keep on. I am the Kratu, I am the Yajna, I am the Swatha, Aushada, Mantra, I am the fire, I am the oblation, I am the father of this world, the mother, the sustainer, the grandfather, the one thing to be known, the purifier, Om, and also Samam and Rajas, the goal, the supporter, the Lord, the witness, the abode of refuge, the friend, the origin, the dissolution, the substratum, the storehouse, the seed immutable. Gadi Varta Prabhu Sakshi, Nivasa Sharanam Suhrud, Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. Now the Supreme Divinity is described in many ways in this verse. Gadihi, the goal. The whole universe has that as the Gadi, goal. Bharta, the supporter. To protect, to cherish, to support. So Bharta means supporter. Prabhu. Prabhu means the Lord. Sakshi, the witness. He is the solar. Sun is the witness of the solar system. He can see everything happening in the solar system. He is called Jagat Sakshi, witness of the world. God is called the witness of the whole world. Sun is the witness of the solar system, and we are also, as the self, the witness of our little activities here. This is called Sakshi. Gadi Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasam. Sakshi Bhav. And so he says the abode, the refuge, Sharanam Suhrud, friend. Prabhava Pralayasthanam, the origin, the dissolution, the substratum, and finally he says the seed. My origin is the seed, Seed in my mother's womb. That is how this sense of individuality started. So he owns that, he says. Bijam Avyayam. Not only that, he said, I am the Bijam. In 3 or 4 slokas, he keeps on repeating it. This repetition of that origin, that will also give us some idea. I am not a product of anything. I am a product of his only. So intellectually we will try to accept it. then try to go deeper and deeper into it with the help of whatever sadhanas he makes us to involve ourselves. But we should be very clear that this particular Gadi Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrad Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. So he is the origin, he is the... Every day when we read Papa's universal prayer, O Creator, Protector and Destroyer of the world. Entire thing is contained in this. So you are my Creator. I have forgotten this. And when you make me to create, I always own the ownership. I have done it. Now I know that the very existence of me is because of you. And if that is proved to me, if that is experienced, I will come to know whatever I see outside in the form of individuals or any creatures or beings or even inert insentient matters, they also owe their origin to you only. So what is there for me to take credit? But you gave me an opportunity to take credit. In a semi-lighter vein, we remember the words of Papa to Puja Swamiji, when Puja Swamiji asked, so many people are prostrating, when they prostrate before Papa and if Swamiji is also there inside, they will prostrate. So Swamiji was becoming not comfortable at all. So one day he told Papa, this is something which I can't. Then Papa spontaneously, with his usual love, Swamiji himself shared with us this. He said, pass it on to Ramdas. Swamiji said, after that the tension was not there. So mentally, we feel the Papa consciousness, the Papa principle, whatever we call it. The indwelling and all-pervading reality. So if one of his creation is prostrating before that power, the sense of individuality does not own it. We now later on we infer that by even before Swamiji, before that Swamiji was like that, but after practicing this attitude, Swamiji's effacement, the humility became so conspicuous. Because he was not owning. Once he also said, as is his wont. This is a beautiful expression. I pass it on to Papa. So nothing is kept with him. And by the word Papa, he meant the indwelling and all-pervading reality, who has also come in the form of Papa. So that is another method he should go to when you are sharing it. To what extent we all can implement in our life, we should try. The real owner. When we read this sloga, it becomes more and more clearer and clearer to us. Gadir Bhakta. Those who have got Gita book, please go through that. 9th chapter, 18th sloga. Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrad Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. The goal, the supporter, the Lord, the witness, the abode, the refuge, the friend, the origin, the dissolution, the substratum, the storehouse, and the seed immutable. So this is applicable to anybody, whether he is a Grihastha or a non-Grihastha. The only advantage for a person who recedes from the common run of life, he will be relatively free from the preoccupation, so he will be able to go deeper into it, that's all. That is why satsangs are arranged, he passes it on, shares it with others. Others may be preoccupied with so many commitments God has given them. So God also deputes somebody else who has been motivated to recede from the common run of life, who is prompted to go deeper into the teachings, and to some extent who has experienced this also, and they come and share this to us. So then we start our life from there. Until such time our sense of individuality has been dominant. No? Even now it is dominant, but somewhere in the part of our mind it will be there. God is behind this, God is behind this, God is behind this. And in quest of God, no? From the 3rd chapter onwards up to this 37th chapter, you will find how Papa was actualizing it at every moment, whether it is conducive or non-conducive, comfortable or non-comfortable. He goes to Tirupati, 700 steps. In winter, Tirupati is very difficult on those days. So when he reaches there, shivering, by about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the night. So they had some campfire, everybody was sitting. After 1 or 2 hours or 1 hour, the gateman comes and says, all of you get out, I'm going to lock. Where are they to go? And somehow they were able to get some space in the Dharmshala with nothing to cover them, shivering. And the Papa was not grumbling. He said, oh, Ram has been kind enough to give him a lot of time for Ram Bhajan. So the sadhu said, that is all your philosophy, I am finding it extremely difficult. And if you remember right, Papa said, he like 8. And early morning they left. So the prompting also is given by God, but non-fulfillment is also given by God. Just to make him know that he is there, and Papa passed the test. We are not passing the test. We blame the people outside. So this is the learning we get. Merely fulfillment alone, non-fulfillment alone also. Trying moments. Six miles prior to Rameshwaram, they were asked to get down from the train. No, they had to walk. Somebody was grumbling, Papa was happy. Optimistic outlook. He teaches us optimistic outlook is the main prerequisite for a spiritual aspirant who is free from grumbling and complaint. Even after hearing this, we may fail. But repeatedly we hear, repeatedly we think, repeatedly we try to associate with these biographic sketches of Mahatmas. Probably we might also get some pass mark, though not 100 by 100. Some pass mark we may get, proportionate to the intensity we develop. So this particular...
We are not put to such a severe test also.
So far, that is comfortable zones, We were ensuring all our
if there is a chill, we put on a sweater.
He gave us a long rope. And at the evening of our life, he gives us all these. And when our body is emaciated, body cannot do that. Suddenly he reveals. So we can take him into task. Why did you not reveal this to us earlier when we were healthy, we were young? He may give us his answer also. Even if I call you, will you hear? You will not hear. You have to exhaust all those things, then only you will hear. But when we read this stanza again and again and go back to our life, we will definitely see many instances where people lead a simple life, not taking credit of anything, at the same time thinking that is my karma. Many people used to say, why I am going through it is because of my karma. They will not blame. I have to work out my karma. I have brought within my the bondage of my karma. They may not say that God's will is supreme, but there are so many ways through which they express. Yes, we have seen that the people will say, my karma I am working out. So somebody's behavior, when it is not in line with what is expected, they, instead of blaming the other party, they will say, it is my karma, I am working it out. So at least by that time we get pass marks, 35. Instead of getting 0. So let us all try to concentrate more and more on these aspects. It is good that this was raised. And we had no idea just prior to coming to this session. Suddenly he makes us to go to this particular stanza. At that time we were not knowing why should he, of all this, 9th chapter. Where is that book? First he made us to go to the Nimitta Matram Bhavasavya Sahajan. Because yesterday he made us to say, prescripted. Nobody can easily accept that prescripted. So today again he made us, yesterday he used us that idea, today a little more clarity will come to us. 9th chapter.
18th. That prescripted is something very important.
Very. Yeah. Prescripted. That's a wonderful word. It just came out. Yeah. It doesn't mean that we should keep quiet. No complacency. He will prompt us. We have to do. Papa has written in the, I don't know whether. He makes the thief to steal. He makes the policeman to catch. He makes the judge to punish him, no? That and this, if we put together, then we might be able to get a little more clarity. That means the police will not say, God is stealing, so I will not arrest. No. He will be given the prompting to go and arrest him. So like that, we will act according to what the prompting comes to us. The only thing is owning the prompting. If we try to pass on that prompting to him, our sadhana should enable us to pass on even the very prompting to him. Then we are moving toward the direction. It is really a tough job, but we will keep on trying. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om. Namaskaram. Hari Om. Pranam to everybody. Oh, so many are there. How did they come to know?
We sent the message from it
Okay.
immediately. WhatsApp group will be there.
Acha.
Hello, Swamiji.
Hariyo, long time.
You remember me. I'm so happy to see you. So happy to be back after all these years.
What time? When did you